This cat, I swear to goodness, she's so cute and so adorable, but can't reach her. My arm's just not long enough. Come here, honey. Okay. So let's talk about that. Not loving on the cat that won't let you love it, but keep trying. I was just thinking about one of the things that is very important for writing NaNoWriMo. Uh-oh, cat near me. I got a tail. What? Is to keep trying. So keep trying to love the kitty, keep trying to write, keep at it. It's about resilience, it's about perseverance, it's about grit. Make it happen, which is very hard some days and sometimes when you. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Nope, no kitty. Very hard when, life is turned against you. Things are going bad and things just aren't going well. What was it? Last year, I had a horrible work thing going on where I had all this stuff I had to do. I worked nights, I worked weekends. There were times on the weekends I worked 14-hour days, both Saturday and Sunday, just to get the work stuff done, which really sucked and cut into every little bit of time that I had to write, and it was really awful. It was drove me almost literally insane because the past 9 years I've just gotten the book done. In 2000. Nope, no kidding. There was 1 year I did the get 100,000 words in the 30 days in November, or die trying, and I did it. It was I think it was November 26 or so. It was one of the 20s, one of the even 20s, 22, 24, 26, 28. I think it was 28. But I got 111,000 words, and I was actually going to start continuing writing the book, but then I realized, okay, I'm just going to write it until it's completely pointless, and I've overwritten it because there's, it's an ending. It's a good ending. Let's just be done with it. Let's not try to draw out a prologue and a secondary prologue or anything like that. When you're writing, you're going to have to make time, and that's what I did last year, was force myself, even after working 14-hour days, to sit down and write 30 minutes, write 45 minutes, write 10 minutes. And it wasn't ideal. It wasn't fun. It wasn't good. I did not enjoy it. Last year was pretty awful for me, for NaNoWriMo. Because of that, this year the work thing doesn't look as bad, so I'm hoping and praying that everything will work well. And it's looking like things are going to be okay this year. If you're not having a good year, though, then what the heck do you do? One, don't give up. Just get through it. And it's not a matter of, well, did you fail or did you not fail? It's a matter of, are you going to learn the skills and the abilities for next year? Are you going to learn the skills and abilities to make your writing work for you the next time you're going to write? And that's really hard to understand. That sure, you may have failed NaNoWriMo, but you learn some valuable lessons for yourself on how to write, how to persevere through it, how to get through writer's block. And that's one of the most important things you can do for yourself, is learn the skills that will teach you and get you to where you want to be later. I started my first book, which my first book 9 years ago. It's awful. I mean, really is. I've not deleted it. I've rewritten it twice. One rewrite was decent. The other rewrite was pretty good, but again, it's my kitchen sink problem. I try to do way too much and not write a simple story. And then second book came, and I thought, oh man, I'm such a good writer, and I know all this stuff. And so I gave it to people, and nobody read it. And people got through like page 5 and were like, I can't read this anymore. My first actual book, which I wrote, I think 2 years before that first NaNoWriMo, a lightning literally hit my apartment, fried my computer, and that book went up in smoke. So again, you're not going to fail worse than I have. Get through it, and you're going to have to find strategies to get through it, but you're going to have to, in a very plainly way, suck it up and deal. which is very hard sometimes when you're doing one of these creative projects all by yourself. You don't really have a group, you don't have people around you, and that's why having the community, that's why the NaNoWriMo community is there for the people in your area. You can go do the write-ins, you can do the meets, find the community, talk to people, watch other creators who are doing NaNoWriMo with you, take their experience, take their positivity, and internalize it for yourself. That way you can really get that sort of thing taken care of. And it's, again, going to be a hard thing if you're not used to it. I was just watching a video about, how to get through rough times. And one of the things that they were talking about was learning, again, resiliency, to deal with bad things and not let it get to you to the point where all you do is not what you want to do, but what you actually do is sit down, curl up, watch TV, go to bed, and get up and do it all over again. Instead, you're going to have to look at that stupid computer, look at that stupid blank page, sit your booty in the chair, and start writing. And it's going to suck, but you're going to get through it, and you're going to make it happen. And that's hard. You don't know where the end goal is, right? And that's one of the problems, is that you may never get to a satisfactory point in your own self, in your own writing journey, where you're like, oh yeah, I've arrived and everything's great. I'm sure Brandon Sanderson, with all his, everything going on, there are times he's like, man, this just sucks. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to suck. Don't be afraid to really make it not work. My third book, I essentially abandoned because it was so bad, and it's 50,000 or more words. I don't remember how much it is, but it has no ending. It doesn't have the actual ending that I wanted, because I got to that point and it was like, this ending is pointless. It's not earned. It's not fun. It doesn't satisfactorily end the story. It's just, I pretty much just abandoned the project rather than finish it. And that's going to happen. You're going to write a chapter and it's going to be awful. So what, right? You can always rewrite it later. That's one of the greatest things about writing, is you can always rewrite it later. You can, with a painting, there's only so much you can paint over stuff before it becomes just a mess. There's only so much you can try to fix on a sculpture before it just falls apart. There's only so much you can do in, music before people are going to be like, wait, why is there an 8th version of this song? I like the 3rd version. Why is this one, etc. So with writing, until you publish it, and even sometimes then you have writers that, try to correct things. I know I'll probably be that guy. What? I fed you. I tried to pet you. Silly kitty, right? So you're going to have to again, learn that grit and that perseverance and that resiliency. So the perseverance is going to be, it sucks, it sucks, do it anyway. You may get to a point where you're like, I don't like that chapter. Instead of deleting it or getting rid of the whole chapter altogether, instead what you do is you what I do is I copy and paste it to another whole document that I call the trash pile. And I just leave it there. And you never know. There was a book, like 3 books after I copied something. I was like, I need a scene. I need a scene like that. Oh my goodness, there's a scene like that in the trash pile, and I copied and pasted it and reworked it and put all the proper things in there, and it was perfect for the book. And that's great. And that's something you are going to have to, again, you're going to have to kick yourself to not do the bad things that you almost want to do. You want to delete it. You want to get rid of it. You want to just abandon it. And you just keep going. You just keep going. And that's one of the things that NaNoWriMo really teaches you to do. What was it? 3 years ago? I don't remember. There was one book that I started writing. I was like, yeah, I'm really gung-ho for this project. A third of the way through, I was like, I hate this project and I can't stand it anymore. Can I just quit? I realized I was so far into it through NaNoWriMo that I was like, you know what? I'm going to win. I don't care. I'll finish this book. And I would write little notes to myself as I went along. This is why this part doesn't work. This is why I don't like this. This is why. And so that way, if I ever did rewrite it, it's very, very easy to do so because I know what is going wrong with it as I'm going. And again, that's how you get, that comes from experience. So write and keep writing and get through it. And then you'll get to the point where you can identify things that you see are wrong. You identify things that, you know, are annoying you, like the bird in the back. And then when you get to that point where you really feel comfortable with everything, it becomes easier. And I'm not saying it's easy. You know, I'm, 16 books in or whatever, and it's getting darker. But also, it's not that easy. The book that I'm going to write for NaNoWriMo, I hadn't decided until just last week. You know, I had a lot of fun reading the first. Neighbors are going crazy. Hope they're all right. You know, the first book was pretty good, and I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying reading this. So why don't I write a second one? That sounds like fun. And so that's what NaNoWriMo for me has become, is less of a, I have to write 50,000 words and I have to get through this project. So much as it's now, let me do something fun. Let me do something different. You know, I wrote a romance once. You know, I haven't wrote mystery or thriller. I'm just not good at those. My brain doesn't work for those, and I can't stand reading them, so they're not my thing. But there are other types of genres that I might try. There's a contemporary fiction type book that I want to write that's got a light element of science fiction / fantasy in it, that I think would be a good book. It's very, you know, like deeply emotional to me, which is a lot of what contemporary fiction is about, is, you know, about that kind of deeply emotional connection type stuff. You know, and I don't like those books. I'm not a fan of them, but hey, that's a good experiment. That's a good thing to try. So that way I can try new and different things. So yeah, you're going to have to get through it. You're just going to have to suck it up and deal. And that's one of the things that when I first did NaNoWriMo, I learned through nothing other than things that I did in my physical life. Running. I hate running. I do it anyway. Going to the gym and lifting weights. Lifting weights. Yes, I actually enjoy that. But getting through those last couple of reps on some of the last couple of sets is awful. And similarly, getting a obstacle course races, your you know, Tough Mudders and your Savage races, your Spartan races, and RIP Warrior Dash. You know, getting through some of those races is just awful. You just feel terrible. You just want to quit. But you do it anyway. You get through it. You know, it's 7 o'clock at night. It's dark. It's getting closer to freezing than it had been all day. The rain is still coming down. You're caked in mud. You probably got 20 pounds of wetness and mud on you. You still got 3 miles to go. But you know what? You've done it. You've come this far, so you're not going to quit. You've come this far, so you're not going to stop. And you're going to get it done come heck or high water. No matter if you die from it, you're going to make it happen. And that's what you have to do with your writing. That's what you have to do with NaNoWriMo, is just get flipping through it and get her done. And some days it sucks. And some days you'll end up just not being happy with it. And that's okay. It's okay to not be happy with what you're dealing with at the moment, because you can always rewrite it. You can always edit it. And that's something that's beautiful about writing. All right, there's my rambling for today. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care. I love you. And good luck with your writing.